good. Let me just close some of my bullshit here. Oh, got it. Good. Let's close some of my bullshit here. And I just, yeah, you keep doing whatever you're doing. It's no big deal. But Steve and I are here, and we're very excited about how different everything is today than it was last time. So
That's good.
talk about that.
That's good. There's still some concerning stuff going on, with the VP pick and
Oh yeah,
whatnot.
we'll see.
So whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're here and we're actually on YouTube right now,
Oh.
live, ready to talk about fake news as it affects us in day-to-day trying to live in this environment. And we have lots to talk about, I suppose. So
With your favorite co-hosts,
with our favorite
Chewbacca
co-hosts.
and Caroline and Steve.
Yeah. Right, for the 4 people who will occasionally catch up with us, but that's all right. We're still playing. I'm still getting
Hey,
stuff.
we're working out the kinks and
You know what? I had to laugh at last week's because Steve and I were like really fighting with each other briefly, and I called him dude, and then he called me dude, and you're like, oh my God, if I called my wife dude. And so afterwards, I was like, that's actually funny. And I said, we should argue more. And he was all like, I don't need any more arguing with you anymore.
No one needs.
But well, with me, I think it's special. No,
I think me and Steve argue pretty well.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So we were apparently it was like stop fighting. So we did. So but yeah, and I also think that a lot of it, Steve and I have been doing the paper thing for like 10 years now, and you can't work together in any creative capacity and not have a mechanism for so
Oh, absolutely.
that's our jam. So
Absolutely.
don't be frightened.
As long as you don't violate the rule, a golden rule of marriage and go to bed angry at each other.
I don't know. I think sometimes when you're tired, you should go to bed and just deal with it later. And then you wake up and you realize it was stupid. So I'm actually okay with that. That golden rule to me is I break that all the time.
Really?
Yeah. I just want to sleep. Shut up. I'm going to sleep. And when I wake up, if it bothers me, if I remember it, because, I'm real good at just rebooting and just forgetting where I was.
That's how you know it was nonsense to begin with, if you don't
Yes.
remember it the next morning.
Yes,
Right?
right.
I remember part of it, like what was really pissing me off. I can't make that jump. Gonna have to let that one go. Give it to Steve. Yeah. So yeah, and I imagine I don't know, I guess my favorite thing from this week, and I'm sure I've had lots of favorite things, and we can talk about
Sure.
your favorite things as well, but I was pretty happy to see The Villages.
I know.
Right?
I know. You have lost the plot as a Republican when the Villages
Sorry, that's the cat.
That's right.
We're here.
when the Villages turn against you.
I
Like that was like Republican MAGA Central
It was.
for like the longest time.
Yes. They used to do golf cart rallies and everything out. And that was what I saw. And I thought it was going to be a Trump one, but it wasn't.
That was really good.
Yep.
I don't know if it was news necessarily, but
right. But no, it was very
it was
interesting.
definitely interesting, and it was definitely like a positive, thing.
Like a weird metric, a weird turning point metric, whatever
Right?
it was very strange, but it's something I did not expect to see. And you know what else I didn't expect to see? And this is important. I actually went to the Villages News Network. They have like one of the few private paper. Yeah, they have a newspaper that's like one of the most profitable small community papers in the country, obviously, because they're all rich. And
they also have nothing better to do.
Yes, and they're all very, excuse me, cat, he's going to step on the keyboard again, and they're all very conservative. So I went on their website. I mean, I went on their YouTube page to see the video because I expected there to be a bunch of trolls and angry comments.
Mhm.
There were not. There was a bunch of like a bunch of like,
Well, hold on. So for those of us who didn't see the Villages breaking thing, can we?
yes, we can go. Oh, get off me.
Oh.
What is going on with that cat, man? Yeah, we'll turn that on. Steve, I'll give it a thing. I can, ow, look what he did. See what he did?
I
See
know.
what he did? He was bites me. Little mother,
He's
pardon
vicious.
me.
He's vicious.
Pardon me. You don't need to hear that. He's a jerk and a half. All right, here it is. It's YouTube. We're doing it. I'm gonna sound on, but I'm gonna pause it. Let me full. Let's
Does
do
that
this.
Say for Kamala Harris. What?
I know.
What is it? What does it say?
It says Village Golf Cart Parade for Kamala Harris.
Why are
What?
you excited about Harris?
Because she envisions a country of freedom and liberty for all of us. Trump just wants to bring us back. She wants to put us ahead.
I think America's ready for a woman of color, a woman.
A woman of color or any woman that embodies the things that she does.
What difference has Kamala Harris made for Democrats and you think for the country since she went? I think you can win. Why is that, Lou?
X-Man, that's a weird choice.
I think what Joe Biden did shows so much of the type of man.
Diana, why has there been such a level of excitement since Harris?
Oh my God.
has been
Because
Oh Jesus!
taken over the ring?
Wow.
What's doing?
Well, I think there's something to be positive about, hope. And it's not all negativity anymore. It's that who we don't want, or who we don't like, or whatever. You know, it doesn't matter which one you didn't like. Now we have something to like.
The Republicans, they're gonna vote Democratic for Harris.
Yes,
Is that just because of Harris?
no, I vote across the aisle all the time. I am fiscally conservative and socially liberal. I consider myself a moderate. I don't ever go party line. I think it's important to understand every issue and vote what you think is right for you. So that's why I'm not big into party politics at all.
You think she can win as a woman?
I absolutely think she can.
As a woman.
I think she's exciting, a whole new group of people, younger people, particularly younger women.
Wow.
I think there's, I think we need more young people involved in politics.
He's wearing a cowboy hat. That's impossible.
Oh,
Wow.
That is the most village shit I've seen all day. Other than the village dance party I watched the other day, which was super weird.
Wow.
isn't that wonderful?
That is incredible.
Isn't
Jeez.
The only thing missing out of that was somebody's pet alligator.
it? Yeah, right.
Damn.
It was something else.
That's
right?
crazy. Wow.
They brought him out. People are happy. And I love that. People want something instead of having shit we hate. Like we actually have something that we like. Isn't that
Gators for Kamala.
I know, right? Like we're just done, dude. Okay, well,
And you know, and Trump seems to be doubling down on the bullshit, on the hate and on the racism
Mhm.
and the sexism.
yeah.
That's all they
And
have.
he's talking about Biden.
Yeah.
He's still talking about Biden.
I know. Like the man stepped down. He's not your opponent anymore, dude.
Wasting time, mister, for someone who's so thrifty. You know, you'd think he would know that he's wasting money every time he talks about
No,
Biden.
no, he is not thrifty. He's cheap.
Yeah,
There's a difference.
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I believe that his comments on Twitter about how he's been cheated of that they owe him money for the
Oh, that's
The-
reimbursement.
Oh, that is so stupid. That is so stupid. Motherfucker, that's the game. You don't like the rules, fucking go play some other game.
that you were at. I think he was
Nobody
no,
asked you to run.
right? No. No one
You
asked you to
ran
spend that
because
money,
you want to stay out of jail. Like it's as simple as that. Like own it.
right? We all see
Fuck
it,
it. Yeah.
right? We get it. So funny.
God. So it really is.
So I thought that was pretty funny, him asking for a reimbursement or saying he deserves a reimbursement. And his whole like, oh, maybe I won't be in the debate. He's just trying to get attention in the press because he
Yeah,
was
he sees that that there's a lot of, momentum for
Mhm.
Kamala,
Yep.
and that terrifies him.
Yes.
Like you
yeah,
can see, like dude is shook
I agree.
in like the shit that
Mhm.
he's saying. Like
Yeah.
the other day when he was at some, rally or some bullshit, and he was begging evangelicals to vote for him. I think he said something to the effect of, please vote for me. Like, if you vote for me now, you won't have to vote again in like
Yes,
4
yes.
years.
You'll never
Like,
have to
which
vote
was,
again.
yeah, which was like very authoritarian and like fascistic,
Yeah.
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
nature to say. But
And he
like,
said,
I
I'm
think,
not a Christian as well. That he kind of blurted that out too. That was weird.
did he?
Yeah, he was
I
like,
thought he
"Yeah,
said
I
he
love
was a
Christians. I'm not
Christian.
a Christian." It sounded like he said he wasn't one, but it's very weird. Yeah.
I thought he said he was one,
Well, I
which he's
listened to
not,
his thing. No,
but
no. Is that it? Yeah, we've got we can listen to that.
City America's lap in West Palm Beach. They won't have to worry about voting ever again.
And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years. You know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm not Christian.
oh, he did say I'm not Christian. That is weird.
In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
That is weird.
Right?
Like, talk about like your Freudian slip there.
It was
Like,
weird.
I mean, it was full of Freudian slips, but
Sure.
I think he intended to say some of those things, but I definitely don't think he intended to say that.
I'm not Christian.
I mean, it's true. I mean,
Yes.
Oh,
course.
the
I mean,
truth just leapt
obviously.
out of his mouth without him watching it because he's so shaken up about Kamala.
Yeah, actually, I was just reading to switch it up a little bit. He announced on Friday that he's going to be returning to Butler, PA, for another rally, which tells you that he's desperate to reboot the assassination thing. He wants to
Yeah,
go
right.
home again, and it's
Like
pretty.
I mean,
Yeah,
dude, it was a Republican. The dude was a Republican.
I don't
Like,
understand
you're-
how my ear got grazed by a bullet shot at me by one of my own turns into I took a bullet for democracy.
Yeah. It makes no sense.
yeah.
Well, unless you're a maggot, you're a maggot,
Or GQP. I just picked up on that today.
What
Did
is
you
that?
notice that?
GQP?
When you're in Reddit, they say GOP, but instead of GOP, they use a Q in the middle. So it looks like GOP is a QAnon. So it's
Yeah,
how you
yeah.
say like this GOP. Like I usually just call them MAGA, but you can call them GQP.
Okay, whatever.
I just learned that today. I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah. So no, it's just that to me tells you how much he's scrambling. Like he's so pissed that he lost all that momentum he had after the shooting. There's people we know who are progressive, and at least one of them was like, well, that looks like it's over.
Yep.
He looked pretty badass with this. And I was like, well, let's see how it plays out. But that kind of momentum that he had, that stopped in a hurry. I mean, it went for what, maybe 3 days, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden Kamala, the wave came in and it knocked it completely off course. Now he wants to go back to Butler. And by the way, it was pretty disgusting display of having the guy's jacket and helmet
Did
up on the
yeah.
stage.
I think we talked about that
Yeah, we
last week.
did.
How he kissed it, like was making out with it.
Yeah, right.
Like
I
it was
mean,
so
it's-
weird and gross and
Yeah.
weird.
Weird. I love that that's gaining traction too. Finally, people are saying it's weird and calling out the other party for being weird. And I think that's
Mhm.
a beautiful thing.
Yep.
I still don't know what brat is though.
Isn't it some some musician.
has-
You can look it up. It's
I think it has
a
something to
country-
do with like an album or something.
Yeah. I think
it's
Like,
an
but I don't
English-
even.
English,
It's an English
yeah,
woman who she's a
and
pop
she,
star,
yeah,
English pop star. I thought.
yeah, that's what I. Looks like.
Have
Explain.
you been wondering what all these bright green memes are all about? Let this millennial help you out. So this all started on Sunday with British pop star Charlie XCX tweeting Kamala is brat, referring to her latest album. And if you're not up to speed, the singer says a brat is just a girl who's a little messy and likes to party and maybe says dumb things sometimes. And the VP and her campaign team responded by owning this title, even using the album cover's bright chartreuse green color on X. The moment turned into a meme and the whole thing sort of caught fire online, with TikTok edits combining I'm So Julia from the Brat album and Harris's coconut tree speech.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
That was so great.
Tag Kamala Harris is even trending on TikTok right now with over 100 views in just the last week. This meme became Harris's official launch as the likely Democratic nominee, advertising her as Gen Z's brat summer icon.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
There we go.
And you know, I
Getting
don't
good at
think
this.
that, you know, that's a bad thing. I think that it's, you know, good that she's, you know, I don't know about I like the party part, but like that she's a little messy, you know, like that.
I
what-
think that's the.
what human being isn't, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the answer to the attacks against her laugh. Like they're just owning it. They're like, sure,
Yeah,
she's
good.
so what? So what? She doesn't have a perfect laugh, or so what? She's not, you know, not everybody finds the peals melodious. Like, who cares? Like she laughs in public, and that's a good thing. So we don't care.
Yeah, like it's better than Trump, who's I've
Never
never seen
laughs.
laughed.
No.
I've never seen him laugh ever.
Well, he laughs at other people's expense. Like he's caught on video that some guy actually went and researched this. And like I think Mark Meadows, even one of the people who work with him too, did it. So different people have looked. They've identified 2 areas where you can watch on YouTube that he actually looks like he laughs. One of them, they're both from his 2016 campaign. One of them, he's searching. Like a noise, like a barking noise happens, and he goes, "What's that?" And someone goes, "Hillary." And he thinks that was very funny. And then the second one, he says, "What do I do with all these illegal aliens?" And someone goes, "Shoot them." And that made him laugh. But those are the 2 laughs we've got on camera. The other ones,
Okay.
yeah, he tends to just go like kind of silently bare his teeth and point when he's trying to show amusement. Yeah, but he doesn't really go,
Yeah.
except in those 2 instances where he let out a laugh because it's so funny to call a woman a dog and to suggest shooting immigrants. My God.
Well, I mean, it's in line with his, you know, stated policy of mass deportations.
Well, it's good to
Which,
know it's
you know,
not a ruse.
Sounds
it's actual-
awfully Nazi-like to me.
Right? It's
Yeah.
really coming from his heart. That's how we know. He's not just pretending for money or anything like that. He loves it's his bliss. loves So there's that.
All he needs to say now is load him on the trains.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
it. Well, they have the mass deportation signs up. I mean, how is that a campaign sign? Support mass
Yeah.
deportation. It's just like
Well, they were
evil-
chanting that at the RNC convention.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Like,
While what Vance's wife was speaking, they were holding the signs up.
yeah,
Oof.
which, you know, it makes me angry that, like, you know, like a lot of my Jewish. Oh, that is so adorable.
he hates me.
She's gonna pay for
Right.
that.
Just trying to make it. I'm trying to make it unpleasant for him so he leaves me alone. But please continue. I was listening.
That, you know, some of my Jewish compatriots, you know, my Jewish family, you know, are siding with Trump because, you know, they're concerned that the Democrats aren't doing enough, you know, to combat anti-Semitism in America. But what is Trump going to do? It's clear that he's just playing
Yeah.
like the part, but like if you're willing to like mass deport, you know,
That's a terrifying word. That's just terrifying.
you should be horrified
You don't
and
want that.
terrified.
No. Yes.
You know, I am you know, for doing, you know, something about, you know, some of these more violent, you know, whatever you want to call them, programs or whatever, you know, certainly I'm for like taking some sort of action, whether it's, you know, civil or whatever kind of action, you know, against, you know, these people that are coming out with like clearly Nazi-esque signs at these rallies, or that are targeting Jewish schools and Jewish institutions and like Jews' personal homes and whatnot. But there is a huge difference between needing to do more
Right.
and doing,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Agree.
And wasn't he the guy who was
Charlottesville were good
very
people.
fine people? And they
Yeah,
were chanting,
absolutely.
They
"Jews
will not replace us. So like they're his
Jesus.
friends. So we
I mean,
Absolutely.
which is the
You know,
one of the most Nazi things you can say.
I know, right?
I just, yeah, the guy whose speeches sound like Hitler, like literally sound like Hitler. Like it's what this is the depiction of, you know, when they came for the blank and then no one came, I was no one enough to come to speak for me. You know, like you're letting mass deportation, someone who wants to do that, if they're going to do it to one group, they're going to do it to, God knows, everybody's good. They're going to find a reason, right? Like, Jesus.
But you know, like and this is double-edged sword.
Okay.
This is why I think that she should choose Josh Shapiro.
Okay.
You know, because that would be like a little double whammy
Sure.
for our community. You know, she's got her
Yeah.
husband, she's got the Doug.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, with Josh
The
Shapiro,
Doug.
like who has been fervently supportive of our community because he's
Yes.
one of us,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and like, you know, supportive of Israel's, you know, war of
Right.
self-defense,
Right.
while also being critical at times too.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, I think that would help with our community. Now, that would, you know, potentially alienate, you know, some of those pro-Palestinian people, but they're in a cohort that wasn't that likely to vote anyways.
Agree.
And it has a tradition of not voting anyway. So
Agree. And also that kind of takes it, one issue can supersede the other. You know,
absolutely.
there was
Like,
more that there's a reason to hate. If you don't like either one of them, there's a reason to do that. Now you want to uplift her.
If you want to, you know, lose, you know, your ability to access abortion everywhere,
Right.
if you want, you know, tens of millions of undocumented and refugees
Right.
to be deported,
Right.
if you want, you know, every ounce of criminal justice reform
Yep.
taken off the table, if you want to not have a democracy, if you want to have, you know, fascistic loyalist inserted into, you know, the government,
Right.
fine, vote for that.
Right.
But if that's not what you want, then you need to fucking man up, whoever you are, whether you're a Jew, whether you're one of these pro-Hamas idiots, like you need to man up.
Yep.
Or woman up for that matter.
Yep.
You know, I don't want to exclude anybody. And do your due diligence. Do your job.
Do it.
Like as an American, like you have one job at the end of the day for everyone. Like that everyone who's of voting age has an obligation to do. And that is to, you know, go out and vote and have your voice heard.
Right.
If that voice, you know, is some fascistic bullshit, okay.
So be it.
So be it. If it's if you're against that, then you need to stand up for that.
Right.
If you want an opportunity to change policies, you need to stand up and vote for Kamala Harris.
Right. Right. If you want, exactly. It really is that simple.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Anyways,
No. It's exciting.
it is exciting.
I did not ever think they would they would give this to her. I did not think that was.
I
was gonna come out.
did when he stepped down. I did think.
Did
that
you?
where
Oh,
it was
cool.
going.
So
I
good.
felt like they almost don't really have a choice, or didn't have a choice, because nobody was going to step up to take it.
Right.
And if you want to transfer all that money,
Right.
that's the easiest route to go.
Right. Right. And then the RNC, the Republicans already filed a elect SEC like
FEC.
FEC. That's it. Right.
Yeah.
They're already looking into
There's
it.
no basis though.
Doesn't make
No.
any sense. They
There's-
just
there's
make
no-
come up the work.
It's a ticket. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah. They're
stupid.
trying to find some way to do it.
But yeah, but
Yeah.
her name was on
Well,
it.
it-
You
I
went right
think for
there.
them, it's about, going back to, their antics in 2020 of, trying to claim that, it's somehow not valid
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
when clearly it is.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what they're gonna, and that's what we're headed for, I think, is what, he doesn't, I don't see him changing his attack much, do you?
Mm-mm.
No. And honestly, I think probably the first thing that she's going to have to deal with when she comes into office, and the last thing that Biden's going to have to deal with is, tamping down any violence that Trump has stirred up.
Yeah.
And, it, in some ways it's our own fault, because, we didn't, bring him to justice quick enough.
Right.
And we allowed,
Yep.
these Trump appointees to, hijack, the system.
Right. Right. Hey, how do you think Biden's reforms on the Supreme Court are going to be laid out?
What do you mean?
Well, he said he's going to be presenting some sort of plan or suggestions or something for Supreme Court.
Well, I mean, those things have already been out there on the table. You need a binding code of ethics passed by Congress with teeth.
Right, but here's a thought.
and
Is it
then
possible for him to do that as an executive order, even though it's only
No.
a hold for a short period of time?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, what you got?
It has to be passed through Congress. Congress is the only one that can change that, because it's a constitutional
I know.
office.
Okay, I don't.
Well, it says that, according to Reuters, he will announce plans to reform Supreme Court on Monday. Politico reported, citing two people familiar with the matter, adding he was likely to back term limits and enforceable code of ethics.
And those are two reasonable. I think they're reasonable.
Oh yeah, term limits definitely.
It's
Yeah.
where the American people are.
Yeah.
Like, you look like a piece of shit if you don't back either of those things. I would expand the court too in the interim. But I'm not sure how many people are on board with that.
I think I think we talked about that before. You need some kind of super majority, wouldn't you, to expand the court? I would think.
I'm not sure. I know it's been done on multiple occasions.
Right,
Yeah.
in 2021, Biden signed an executive order creating the Presidential Commission on the Supreme Court of the United States. And then it looks like Bloomberg Law News says he's going to consider blah, blah, blah. That's got a paywall.
No, and it also says constitutional amendment to limit immunity for presidents. Now that definitely requires.
Yeah, that requires a lot. That requires like 2/3 of the states to ratify it, super majority in Congress.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, like it requires a lot to do that. But
Right.
I think it's necessary.
Mhm.
Right, Biden can't sign an executive order to overturn Supreme Court rulings.
No.
The Constitution, he does not have the authority, and I guess that would mean that it doesn't have any authority over how many, like, you're right, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
No control of the court, he can only nominate justices.
Well, and that's part of separation of powers, which makes sense.
Precisely,
Mhm.
yeah, everyone on Reddit is like, yeah, we all remember social studies, and I was like, I don't. Sorry. Oops. But yeah.
The sad part is a lot of people don't know these things.
Yeah.
Most people don't know these things. Most people don't know the three branches of government.
That's true. Well, most people don't want to. We just want it to work for us.
Mhm.
Go and do it and tell me who I'm voting. You know what I mean? Like it's annoying to have to
But
be in
see,
politics when you
that's
don't
the
want to do it.
problem. Like that's the problem.
It is. Politics is boring and not
Democracy,
fun.
democracy in a republic, well, any democracy, whether it's a republic or not, but it requires work. It
They can make it
requires effort.
fun. They could make it fun. It should be like American Idol. You know,
You know,
call it-
probably more people vote for American Idol
I'm
than
saying,
in the
be more
actual election.
fun.
Mhm.
Make it fun. Do something. I don't know. Like maybe they could give speeches and like on different topics and do like cool presentations and fireworks and things. I don't know. I
But
would-
you know, that's what Trump tried to do, and he did succeeded in like a weird psychopathic way. You know, his rallies aren't
They
unfun.
are no, they're
fun.
right. You're right. They are.
If you're into psychopathy and
Right. That is the problem.
super,
That is the
like,
problem. People in
creepy
cults look like
weirdness.
they're having fun. I will give
you're
you
right.
any
You're right.
cult. They're smiling, their eyes look free from troublesome thoughts. You know, they're committed 100%. That must feel great. You're uplifted by all the people around you who all believe and feel the same way. I'm sure it's exhilarating.
I'm less concerned about it being fun and being the rather than being it instilled in our youth and
Yes.
in like us now, you know, that it hasn't been, you know, that it's
Right.
an obligation. You
Right.
have an obligation to your fellow countrymen.
Right. It should be easier. It should be a holiday. You should
Absolutely.
right. Like
Absolutely. It should be
paid
a
whatever.
holiday.
There should be
Yes,
there should be
definitely.
parties.
Yeah.
There should be
Yeah.
cool things happening at the voting places. So it's like free
Mhm.
like food trucks and
Communities,
shit and
communities.
music and
Yeah.
stuff. So you
Hey,
go there and there's a reason to go because it's like
Have
you
you
know what I gotta
have
vote
you not been
anyway.
to any of the African American
Some
polling
of them,
places?
you're right. You're right. Absolutely.
Like that's
That should be-
exactly what it
Right,
is.
but that should be funded by the government. You know what I mean? Like that should be everywhere. Every person should have like it should be like a carnival for everybody. And yeah, you're right. Some of them got it great. I've been to some really good community meetings too, just with like great food. So rock on, but it's not fair that people have to spend their own money, right? That's what
That's true.
government's for.
Yep. Yep.
And instead, how about this? Instead of all the money going into these parties and advertisements that we all hate, why are we like a normal Western country shorten the election period vastly where you're allowed to spend those funds and
Mhm.
take the rest of the money and that can be what we fund our parties for voting. I mean, it's like it's not like these are hard to figure out. It's just the wrong people are holding the purse strings and it's
That's very true. And like under normal circumstances, like where there's, you know, a vast, you know, difference between, you know, the candidates, that shouldn't be a problem. Like you kind of already know who the candidates are.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
though, if we had done that, you know, we'd be stuck with Joe Biden for another 4 years.
That's true.
Mhm.
That's true. That's true. Although he wasn't bad. He was.
He wasn't bad at all. He was actually a great president. And
Yeah.
I think he would have been
He
on
would
the
have died in
ballot.
office.
He would have.
He's not. I'm surprised he's still. I mean, he's
Honestly, though, he might have, you know, did what my dad did and or does, you know, and continue working. And that is the thing that keeps him
right.
alive.
Right. Well, I mean, still, he can have a less stressful job. I'm happy that he can retire a little because it was getting nervous watching him, frankly. And every time he came out of an airplane, or I was like, just go on. You can do it. Please don't fall.
But I think Kamala will make it a lot of fun. I think that if she and you know, I'm partial to Shapiro for so many reasons because he's a Pennsylvania, because he's so loved in PA, like across the board,
Mhm.
like literally across the board. Everybody other than the most assholey assholes love him.
Agree. I like him. I like all
know-
like so many of them are so good to me too. All the names I get excited about though.
But here's the thing, like he he's almost a unity ticket in a
Sure. Oh,
in a
absolutely.
sort of way.
Definitely. He's like a secret weapon that way. Definitely.
Yeah, whereas like now, Kelly, I forget what his first name is.
Mark, I think.
Mark Kelly.
Yeah.
He's good because he's an former astronaut, and like that's just cool.
And he looks
Mhm,
adorable.
mhm.
He's very
He
funny.
does.
He's
He
just
does.
he's very magnetic. He just
But we've also had plenty of white guys
well, yeah.
in the office. Gretchen Whitmore, a great politician, but we already have a woman on the ticket.
You don't want to
And this is fucking America.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I know my countrymen.
right?
Mm,
We're pushing it already in a way.
Yeah,
let's
we
not-
are.
let's not
And
roll
I
those dice
want this
again.
push. I want this push.
Amen.
But you unfortunately, I think that too many Americans would require at least some male
Agree.
figure on
Agree. I
it.
don't want to take a chance this election. This is not the election I want to find out. It might be close, but I'm not willing to take that chance. I'm with you 110%. So yeah, but I love him. I love Buttigieg is on that list, right?
He is on that list, and he would. I
so
think he would
good.
be a great pick.
He's amazing.
so good.
I would
Oh.
love. I
He's
would
amazing.
love to see
Oh, him
him
and Vance?
debating.
Oh.
It
Oh,
would just
my
be like
God.
painful.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Yeah, he gives master class in handling trolls.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he won't let you talk over him. He gets them and then he twists it, throws it right back at him. He's amazing.
He can call him out for his eyeliner, his guy.
Yeah, and he would too. He would. It would
How
be
you
so
how you
good.
gonna be like anti-LGBTQ and wear that much damn makeup?
Ah!
Oh my God.
Like,
Yeah.
girl, go put on a dress.
Girl.
You want to.
Bless him. And I love the couch rumor. That's so
Oh, that's-
so
That's so weird.
brilliant.
So weird. It's brilliant, but it's weird.
Oh, so no, but it was so funny how they
Yeah.
launched it, how it was like just you saw, right? It was like how it became a thing.
I didn't see the very beginning of it. I just saw
Oh,
people rolling with it.
It's great. So
Yeah.
somebody and it was someone who didn't even have a lot of followers.
Mhm.
So they just threw out there like, yeah, well, on page 178 to 174 in Hillbilly's Elegy, he describes how he uses a condom between two couch cushions to fuck a couch.
So
And
weird.
it just
so
takes
gross.
off. It sounds so real, right? It just sounds. Everyone
Sounds
goes
like
to the page and they're like, it's not.
it sounds like something some incel asshole
Totally
like,
does.
would-
Totally
do.
does. So everyone jumped, and then he actually had to be like the first candidate in history. Actually, had to come out publicly to say, "I did not fuck."
I
the
did not
couch."
fuck my
Oh
couch.
my god! It only sent everybody back into the thing, and then the dolphin thing came out.
Oh yeah, that was
Dolphin-
great. That was
Oh my
great.
god! So at one point he posted like when he was the last campaign, he posted a picture of a dolphin having sex with with a woman, like some kind of creepy porny picture, and they pointed out, whoever was looking at the pictures, like, oh dude, tell me you're looking at dolphin porn without saying you're looking for dolphin porn, because you can see that the search words are still there, and everyone's all like, what? Dolphin porn, you weirdo. Like he's complaining because he found it on the internet. Well, you're looking for
You
it,
were looking for
weirdo.
it. You gotta when you look for something on the
Doesn't
internet,
just
you're
pop
probably
up.
gonna find it.
It doesn't come up like you're looking for dolphins and all of a sudden
Like yeah, like who? Like nobody
no one
wants
wanted
to
to
look
see
at-
that. No one wanted to
look
think
at
about
that unless
that.
you're into bestiality. Like
Apparently
nobody
he did.
wants to look for that.
Isn't that great?
Yikes.
Yeah, so that and the couch are are 1 and 2 trending searches after Kamala on Google, and then Trump's assassination is like 4 down.
Oh my
That's
God.
killing him.
I'm not for like raining on somebody's kink, but
Oh,
come
no.
on, there are limits. There are
Yeah, and you
limits.
know what? You don't if you got a kink, then that's fine. But do you put it up on you're shaming people for your own kink, right? He's like, oh, this is the internet. Oh, why did someone invent the internet? Like that's when he shared the picture. He shared it with like this.
Obviously,
thing.
they invented it so that people
like
could have
you
porn.
Find your dolphin porn.
Yeah.
Obviously. So,
Obviously.
I mean, thanks for sharing. You can sit down now, JD. Yeah, so that's he's batting those way. And I thought there was a third one too. I don't know what it is, but it's like he's just not doing very
The
well.
weird Mountain Dew
Oh,
racism
yeah.
thing.
Diet Mountain Dew.
Diet
Well,
Mountain
it's
Dew.
probably
Number
racist.
one, I don't
Diet
mind
Mountain
Diet
Dew.
Mountain Dew. I like Diet Mountain Dew.
Do you? Oh
But
my
it's
God.
weird.
What-
It's good.
Yeah.
And then he laughs
Yeah.
like it's a joke.
Ugh.
And everyone's like,
And it was such a weird laugh. Like,
that's so weird.
And then I love you guys.
Yeah.
And
yeah, right. That
One
was
guy's
that
like,
was
"Ah!"
thirsty as fuck.
Hooray!
That was thirsty as fuck.
it
It
really
really
was.
was.
It was like the Jeb Bush thing. You can clap now. That's exactly what it was.
It was.
Yes, yes.
It was. And then their the GOP's doctoring up a video of Kamala saying like, she was saying like, you know, she gave a speech and somebody tried to clap and she went, oh, okay, you can clap. And then everyone clapped.
Oh yeah.
But they're trying to act like she was thirsty for it.
She
But
was-
I was like,
yeah.
no, you idiot. They were
She's
threatening
encouraging.
Yeah, they
she was
were
threatening to
clapping and
clap
she just
over
wasn't
her and they
expecting
stopped
it.
themselves. So she
Yeah.
let them clap.
Yeah. She's being nice. I know it's
Because
a
they
weird
were
concept.
clapping that loud. They were so excited that they didn't
Yeah.
want to. Yeah, so it was a totally different situation.
I know it's a weird concept.
Yeah.
Being nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just was looking up
I
that
know.
to add the justices, you would need just like regular legislation. But of course,
Oh,
you
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to agree to the non-supermajority rules at the beginning of this session to be
Mhm.
able to go without. You know, I would love if they would just do that.
But what if they
Just
declared it
51 votes is all you
unconstitutional?
need.
But what if somebody sued it and then declared that unconstitutional? Then it would go to
Well,
the Supreme Court.
It's interesting because I also read that Alito was saying that the Congress has no ability to check the Supreme Court, and he's like, that's in the Constitution.
absurd.
The guy's like, yeah, absolutely,
No.
that's not in the Constitution.
That's
It's like,
about
he
checks
said
and
that
balances.
they can regulate the Supreme Court. They
Like
certainly can.
that's part of their job.
Checks and
Right?
balances.
Yes.
Three
Right.
independent but yet
Yeah. So I mean,
accountable
yeah.
branches.
How
Yeah,
is
so that's-
somebody who doesn't know the Constitution on the Supreme Court making constitutional decisions?
Well,
Oh my
maybe they
God.
found a loophole where somebody could sue for if they try to reform it, maybe a Republican can sue about that, and then the case has to go to the Supreme Court where they would obviously vote in their own favor. Could that
I
happen?
don't know how that. I have to. Yeah.
It potentially could happen. However, like I think the effect would already be in place by then.
Would it?
If you had the votes to do that and then you immediately took action to, put those people in place.
Right, but then what we know from Trump would be there'd be some sort of injunction that says you can't move ahead with that until we work out the appeal and all
I don't think that I don't think
with lots of money. I don't know, man. Like
Yeah, like, who's
I've
the-
learned a lot of,
Who's the final arbiter? I guess is the question.
and if the
Yeah.
Supreme Court considers themselves the final arbiter, then any legislation is subject to their approval. So maybe we've never imagined it would get to that because obviously you'd listen to Congress, but maybe that was him saying, no, we are not going to, we don't consider ourselves beholden to listen to the will of the people or the leaders, which is kind of terrifying, but it checks out. It tracks.
I'm gonna have to do some research on that because that's an interesting fundamental question.
I'd love to hear Tribe and who's the other guy that was with him when they were talking about the immunity. He's a famous right wing judge, conservative but not crazy. Ludwig.
Ludding. Or Ludding?
Yeah,
Ludding?
close enough.
Okay.
And Lawrence Tribe. I'd love to hear them weigh in on that. How do you come up with the answer on that? That would be interesting. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, ask them about that, right?
I think it's Luddig. It might be Luddig.
Luddig.
Luddig. I don't know. Let me see if it comes up with anything. Or TT. That's what it is. J. Michael Luddig. Luttig and Lawrence Tribe. Yeah. Oh, that was what it was. Disqualification from the ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they weighed in. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so we should ask them this. But yeah, I think that's an important question because that's my nightmare. That's my personal nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
We just go round and round.
Yeah.
Well, it because we didn't pay enough attention, in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
in the early 2000s, we were sleeping at the wheel. It's gonna take a while to get out of this,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so
And the game kind of is rigged. They've
yeah.
had an opportunity to rig a lot of the game. And I don't even know if we know how rigged the game is.
It's very rigged from like
Mhm.
all the way down from like the way, you know, things are mapped to
Right.
like everything. The entire if it wasn't such a dangerous proposition, like we really should restart this whole fucking thing.
Amen. Amen.
Like, cause we fucked it up.
Right. Instead of reverse engineering something, let's just start over fresh. New
The,
path.
the problem with that is
Yeah.
that there are many psychopaths who are violent freaks
Yep.
that would absolutely take advantage of such
Absolutely.
a scenario and not be, you know, rational actors.
Right. Right. But perhaps it could happen virtually, perhaps it could be something where citizens can be connected virtually, be connected online, form alliances there, form voting blocks there, form ways to hold government accountable. I mean, think about it. These are our public funds. There should literally be, I mean, I know it's crazy to think about it, but like we should be able to look at our bank account. We should be able, some nerd in like the Midwest accountant guy that gets a hard on for accounting should be able to be rifling through our government papers and looking for shit. And there are ways you can do file, right to information and but they make it hard. I mean, with digital access, there's no reason you can buy a house digitally. There's no reason why we can't make a government work digitally. And plenty of Norwegian countries, like you get your taxes in bloop. Oh, okay, blick, and then you're done. You just like it doesn't have to be a big production like it is over here because everybody makes a profit on everyone
Absolutely. There's always somebody trying to make a buck.
Right.
Yeah.
So like Bitcoin is kind of an interesting idea and taking money out of the system. But like what if instead of worrying with that crap, if it just became like information, voting, information, access to all this shit. I can hold people accountable. You give me, a business, there's got to be people that would be like, yeah, I'd love to watch City Hall. I'd love to watch what they're doing in the Treasury Department. I will keep my eye on it. That's more fun than going to
I don't know that there are that many nerds like that out there, but
I'm sure all you need, yeah, because you get, but of course you would, because you'll be an influencer. You'll get online. You'll be on TikTok. You'll be telling people about what you find. You'll be saying it in interesting ways, and people will be like following it like it's news, because it actually is news and it actually is interesting, and people could make it engaging if we wanted to. But
you also, even with that, you have to have checks and balances. I think like one of the biggest problems we face right now, other than the lack of media literacy, is an overabundance of information. A lot of times we're just flooded, with information. Sometimes it's contradictory information. Like I was just looking up like the current death toll in Palestine. And I had 4 different competing numbers, sometimes from the same organization.
Crazy, right?
Within like a week period.
Right.
For the UN, like I was looking at the UN's numbers. On one piece, they have like 34,000. In another piece, they have 36,000. In another one, they have 38,000 like 200. In another they have 39,000 or 40,000. Like this is the same organization in less than a week.
Yeah. But isn't that, I came across that I don't know how to say her last name. How do I say that?
Arendt, R-E.
Hannah Arendt, the lady, the banality of evil lady who went over the and her thing is that all of the lies are not the point, or at least they weren't. She was the one that
they're not
Nazi, and the idea, the whole point is to create a situation, environment where no one knows what's true and what isn't. It just adds confusion. So what you're speaking to right there is exactly the problem with what we have, with too much information, right? Then you don't know. There's too much, right?
Yeah.
And it's dangerous. It's fucking dangerous. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's not by design.
Well, I mean, that was remember the first thing that Trump was off about was the size of the crowd at the inauguration.
Right.
Oh yeah, I
And I
remember
was wondering,
that.
why is this guy so
He wants us
messed
to,
up about the crowd size? Why is he so into this? When obviously it's refutable and you could take photos and show it. But he just
I
kept going
remember
back,
I was
kept going back.
actually at the bus station when when that came across the news, and I'm like, what the fuck?
right?
Is he counting?
Yes.
Is he counting all of the writers?
Right. Is he seeing double? Did he hit his head?
Like,
Right?
was he
Yeah.
counting the writers? Like, what is he
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
and it's just amazing because they just keep coming. He just kept coming back at it. He just keeps coming back at it. He still talks about crowd size.
Right.
He
Absolutely.
still says 150,000
It's
down
a
in
loyalty
Wildwood.
pledge. It's a loyalty pledge, right?
Yeah, and it's a way to
And-
to
Yes.
undercut the truth.
Right, because when the loyal
Absolutely.
people go, yes, it's true, then the people who aren't necessarily loyal are like,
Yeah.
well, then I don't know what to believe. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it right there, you're exactly where you need to be. And just
Mhm.
like he had us where he wanted us before Joe Biden stepped down, everyone was we were in despair, right? It was all but inevitable that we were going to have another Trump presidency, and everyone was just, even if you didn't believe it, I thought that people would come out and vote against Trump again. But regardless, that was the news in the media, that was the mood, right? And that's the whole point of, again, going back to the control and fascism, keep people in despair, right?
absolutely. And it's a both sides issue. Like,
Yeah.
everybody's doing it, and
Right.
it's got to stop.
Mhm.
Like, it's got to stop. Like, I really wish they would bring back the fairness doctrine,
Oh yeah,
Right.
definitely.
but also apply it to the internet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
what is it? The 135, or what's the thing that gives them immunity, a
To
liability?
something, to
Something. That's
So
what
crazy.
it is.
No,
yeah.
they should not.
That should be gone, because if you can sue somebody, they will pay attention in a hurry.
Agree.
yeah.
to what's being put out on that platform.
Right?
They have
Absolutely.
the ability to do it. They just don't want to pay for it, but they can do it.
They can totally do it. They do it in other countries because
Yeah.
like in our country, things that are poisonous in other countries are in our food here because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's like so unfair.
Fortunately, like, some of the work that I'm doing right now, after, leaving the journalism world, is actually working towards, like, doing that, being responsible with AI.
Wonderful.
Like, accuracy is, like, super, super important on the projects
Mhm.
Mhm.
that are going on right now.
Super. So are you back on? Are they
Yes.
engaged now? Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I thought for a minute there, like, it was gonna move to this weird project-based thing, and it did. But then they immediately sent me into, like, a week or two's worth of training
Oh, wow.
ultimately to become a reviewer for
Wow.
this new project, and set me up so that I can switch, to different projects as needed
Wonderful.
down the line.
Mhm.
Wonderful.
All doing the same thing, like basically rating and, like, helping the model, like, learn on its own,
Mhm.
Mhm.
telling it what it's doing wrong and then help it fix it.
That's cool.
Mhm.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that it's going.
Yeah.
It's starting. I will be on my A game this afternoon, hopefully.
Fun.
Cool,
Fun.
cool. So
Right. I think we are
we got a couple minutes.
Yeah,
okay.
we got a couple minutes.
What else you got?
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys hear about the Hezbollah killing all of
Oh,
those
the
Druze
soccer
kids?
players? The
Yeah, there were
soccer, right?
Druze.
Yeah.
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 They were kids. Like,
Yeah.
What happened?
There's like 10 of them, right?
well, there's been different. It's another scenario where there's been
Numbers, yeah.
different numbers.
Yeah.
I've seen 9. The highest I've seen is 12, but
Mm.
there were also a bunch of injuries
Yeah.
in addition to that. So people may have, like, kids may have passed since.
Yeah.
What
But,
happened?
like, this is a Druze community,
Yeah.
in the Golan Heights, which is part of Israel, from, like, some recent like within the past like 20 years, what's the word I'm looking for? Treaties or whatever.
Uh-huh.
They took that in previous wars. They won that, and then they were officially, given that
And
bit
what
of
are
land.
what's the Druze community?
They're kind of like they're Muslim. They're kind of more of a nomadic, or originally were like a nomadic tribe that was in the area.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a big Druze community, and they heavily support Israel,
Mm-hmm.
and always have. Like they actually fought to get into the army
Mm-hmm.
because initially, there were concerns because they were Muslim, that they might, not, want to. It wasn't like because, you can't serve because we don't trust you. It's because we didn't think they didn't think they'd want to.
Right.
And they literally fought
Mm.
to be able to
Wow.
serve,
Wow.
which just tells you how like diverse Israel really is.
What a
Mhm.
complicated issue. It really
It complicated, but it
so
also,
complicated.
it also, shatters the myth of apartheid,
Mhm.
that's one of the buzzwords, that they use.
Well, it's just so complicated. It's
It
so
it is.
so, and it's so when we simplify it, it is very bad. Bad things happen, I think, when it's oversimplified. And yeah. So, and I've learned a whole bunch from you, which has really been very helpful. So I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, and I'm sorry that I have to constantly be talking about it. I don't want to,
Mhm.
like, but I feel like
Hey, it's
I'm
in the news. It comes
I'm
up.
I'm well, I feel like I'm boxed into, this situation where like I don't have a choice. You know what I mean? And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's one of the things that pisses me off the most, being pushed into something that like, yeah, I care about it, but like that's should be my personal,
Right.
like we don't ask like, Russian Americans, to, defend Russia,
Right.
or Ukrainians to defend Ukraine. We don't do that.
Right.
Like, but you do it for me.
Right.
You do it for us.
Weird times.
Yeah. So anyway,
Unfortunately, it's not so much weird times. It's the cycle of hate, that just goes round and round and round and round. I remember somebody told me as a kid, like every generation has to deal with this. Every generation.
Mhm.
You might, go most of your life without it, but eventually
Eventually it comes around and bites your ass at
Yeah.
some point. Yeah.
And it's fucking lame.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
were you
so it
doing?
was a rocket attack. It killed 9 to 12.
What was a rocket
It-
attack from Lebanon
from
or something?
From
Hezbollah.
Lebanon, yeah.
Yeah. They
I
denied
love
it,
their
but
baloney.
of course they would deny it. Yeah. So then did the Israelis return fire?
Overnight, I think they did an airstrike on several Hezbollah military sites.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that could go spin wildly.
It could,
That
and
could-
here's the thing: the actual Lebanese government doesn't want this.
Mhm.
The actual Lebanese people don't want this. They love, Israelis, and they love Israel. It's Hezbollah.
Mhm.
This is this is the situation that they imagine Gaza and the West Bank are like, but in reality, where there are actual innocent people that are going to get caught in the crossfire, and it sucks. It sucks so bad because they don't deserve it.
I don't think
And they're
anyone-
being forced into this situation by an outside Iranian-backed organization, terrorist organization.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's heartbreaking because I have Lebanese friends and like they're terrified right now. And it sucks.
Yeah.
You know, but they also at the same time, you know, they're you know, they tell me, you know, look, you know, I understand if Israel has to strike Hezbollah, then they have to strike Hezbollah. I don't want it. You know, I wish Hezbollah wasn't there. You know, but Israel didn't start it.
It's such a shame that in order to preserve a peaceful, religion is created for peace. And then it's just like, well, we didn't start it, but we're gonna have to blow them up. And everyone's just like, we gotta blow them up because we didn't start. It's so ironic and so painful to see this. So, yeah.
But at the same time, you have to think about this. Israel or Hezbollah has been firing rockets at northern Israel since October 7th.
Oh,
And Israel hasn't really done too much
it's just
like
yeah.
to respond to it. Like there were
And we're
periods where
firing-
the entire northern section of Israel was on fire.
Yeah, and the U.S. is firing missiles all over the place at different countries too. So we're people aren't retaliating against us, and we're blowing Yemen and shit like that. So it's just whoever makes these missiles. We should go into the missile business.
I see
apparently.
Steve back there.
Apparently.
He's holding it in. Whatever he's got in his head, he's holding it in.
It's just there's never any end to it. It's a snake devouring its own tail.
You're right. You're right.
It's
So
there's
painful.
blame to go around on
So
every
painful.
side,
It's
and
so
I just
painful.
more bombing does not stop it. I'm
So
just
You're right,
I
but
wish it did. It does not. And bad leadership. You're right. Hezbollah, Hamas, Israel. Those crooks have to go too. Everyone's got to go. Get the leadership out of the way. Let the people figure it out.
but you got to get the the real leadership out of Iran too.
Oh God, yes, yes. Yeah, I mean, you got to pull it up by the root, no doubt. You know, there's got to be whatever this is not working.
No.
Whatever this has been going on for way into the lost mists of history. I'm sure it's been going on, but in my lifetime, there's got to be another way to do this.
There's got to be. I don't know what it is.
I don't know
I-
either. It's
And
hands up.
you know,
Yeah.
I hope that there is someone out there that's smarter than I fucking am. You know, that can provide some answers, like how to uproot this. You know, this evil,
Yep.
this scourge.
Yep.
You
People
know,
just want to live, man. Just let people just let them frickin' live. Everybody. It's just I don't know. It's not good. That's not the solution, but that would be the ultimate goal.
Just shut up. Protect yourself.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know.
So anyway,
Anyway, on that
Yeah.
note,
so you've got AI stuff then today to do. Is that on your?
yes,
And,
and I have a story that I'm working on about you know, those wireless phone people, like the people that sell like the wireless phones, like at the metro stations or whatever.
Yeah.
There's some companies that apparently were targeting and screwing unhoused folks that they hired via like contract and didn't pay them for their work.
oh,
And so I'm working on that. I've got
oh,
3 sources to talk to on it so far.
oh, that's
I there's
sad.
going to be a lot of work, but like I plan to.
Wow.
So wait, you are in the journalism game
Ah,
still.
look at you are. They pull you
I
back
I
in.
didn't initially want to be, but this made me so angry.
Yeah.
You know how I am. You
Oh,
know
yeah.
how much love
Oh yeah.
I have for our unhoused neighbors.
Right on.
And like this made me so angry
Hell yeah.
that like I had agreed to do it before I even knew what was coming out of my mouth.
Good for you. That's awful.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's good to hear because it sounds like a story that needs to have somebody get kicked.
I
in.
am gonna burn everyone to the ground
Yeah.
Mm.
because I'm that pissed.
Love
Yeah.
it.
That should be a journalist motto. I'm going to burn everybody to the ground.
It's on his LinkedIn.
If you're in on the right cause, you should be going in with that mindset. Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of the day.
Enjoy.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
I gotta go eat something before I start working.
Nice.
Alrighty.
All right.